Welcome to the Guns and Noses podcast. My name's Helen Taylor and I am the owner of Guns and Noses, and I own 3 Labradors. We're here to talk about real moments, real lives, and the wins, the wobblers, and the occasional up yours moments. We're talking about those dogs with enthusiasm and us humans who are trying to keep up. So why don't you sit back, grab a brew, slow down, and listen in. Welcome to my year-end reflection. You're probably wondering why I'm doing it now at the end of January, but that's because shoot season's coming to a close and I like to reflect at the end of the season, but also 2025 in its entirety. I've been looking back over the past few months, both at my own dogs and the clients that I work with, and we asked them to do some pretty tricky things, not just for working dogs, but for pet dogs too. We don't want them to chase things. We don't want them to follow deer or hare, but we want them to have a good time by themselves out at a distance. So what we actually are asking them to do is a skill that's really difficult for a lot of our dogs who are enthusiastic. What we want is a dog who I penned the term half-brain dog. Now, a half-brain dog is a dog who is happy to do the task that we are asking them to do. That could just be free running, or it could be if you've got a working dog that they're beating or sitting still being a peg dog. But then we want them to also have a half a brain on what we're about to ask them. So they could be busy completing a job, an exercise, and then all of a sudden we want them to change that and do something different. Now, that's a real skill, and that's a skill that a lot of dogs don't have, especially the enthusiastic dogs that we're working with. So, the reason I'm reflecting now is because I had a huge up yours moment this shoot season with Red. She decided that it was a good idea to go off and chase a hare, but I totally take responsibility for her decision making because I wasn't concentrating on what she was doing. I was talking to my neighbouring beater and I wasn't 100% working with her, but she was also out with my other 2 dogs, Jack and Sky. And when she's out with those, the competition element really starts to increase. So what I did was instead of giving her a roasting when she came back, because that's not conducive to good recall later on, is I reflected. I reflected on why I thought she'd done what she'd done because during the rest of shoot season, she was absolutely fine. She worked her little socks off. She was brilliant, but majority of the time she's out by herself. So what I did was I thought, okay, why is it that she's done this? And I came to the conclusion that it was the competition element of being with my other 2 dogs. So the next time I took her out by herself, I was on her. I made sure that I gave her cues that, were in time rather than being too late. And I made sure that she was focused on me before we even set out. And that really worked for her because she's a fast dog. So because she gave me this up yours moment, I wanted to give you guys the permission to, when you're out on a walk, slow down, to observe what your dogs do, to take account of why they did what they did, but then reflect on it and see how you can do things differently. But I want you all to know, and the owners that I work with who have dogs with a huge amount of enthusiasm, I see you. It's not easy. We are trying to keep up most of the time, but your journey is yours. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else because comparison is the thief of joy. What I'd like you to do, and I'm giving you permission to slow down here, is when you go out with your dog the next time, is reflect, watch, observe. The reason why we reflect, watch, and observe is we reflect on the previous walk and how good or bad it was. We watch our dogs and observe things. So, what is it we're asking them to do? Loose lead walking, recall, any particular tasks. So, you might go out and do some retrieve work. But as humans, we're really bad at honing in on the negative, not actually seeing the positive. And you'll probably be nicely surprised at how positive your walks are. It's just that we've got to see them. But if we're going really fast because life is busy and walking the dog is just another chore that we have to do, what we don't do is we don't give their nervous system the chance to slow down and breathe during that walk. So then when decision making is required of them, they can't make good decisions. So if we slow them down and get them to really focus on the here and now rather than being 10 steps ahead of us, we will find that we have a whole heap more control of them and that they will do what we're asking them to do. So they will drop into that half brain dog mode. But to the owners that have those enthusiastic dogs, I absolutely see you. I want you to pick up on the wins. I want you to pick up on the things that they do well rather than focusing on the things that they do badly. In the last year, I've had a lot of clients with enthusiastic dogs, and they have all done phenomenally well because they've taken the time to slow down during classes. It's their permission slip to go slower. It's their opportunity within that training session to take it steady and to listen to the instruction that's being given and to break behaviors down into small, bite-sized, easy to teach pieces. They've all done amazingly. I've given out that many rosettes this last year that, unless I look back on Facebook, I can't even count how many. Can't remember how many even. But if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I've got one of those enthusiastic dogs that's super smart, that really likes learning, that loves being out in the big wide world, but you also need some help, please do reach out. The clients that I work with know that I will help as many people as I possibly can to achieve their desired result. One thing that's coming in spring is the new Insiders Club. So I'm building that out as we speak. And that is going to be a community for anybody who's feeling the struggles of living with an enthusiastic dog. And they're really trying to keep up and doing their hardest, but they see all this stuff on Facebook and they feel like they're not good enough or they feel like they can't do it. You absolutely can. You just need the right people in your corner. So keep a lookout for me mentioning about the Insiders Club because it is coming soon. It's just taking some building and some time from my end. But until the next podcast, here's to another year of enthusiasm and us trying to keep up with our dogs. And we will get there. Every single one of us will get there. We will end up living with the dog that we really want to live with. But let's have some fun along the way. Let's make sure that our journey is joyful rather than frustrating. All we have to do is switch the narrative. If we look for the good, we will have a better mindset about the dog in front of us instead of focusing on all the bad things. So until the next podcast, I wish you all the luck in the world. And if you need me, please do reach out. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's episode helped you slow down, feel seen, or think a little differently about your dog, then it's done its job. Remember, progress isn't about perfection, it's about observation and reflection. You're not behind, you're not failing, and you're definitely not alone. Until next time, keep training kindly and try to keep up.